Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, I'm going to be giving my spoiler review now for Black Widow. As you saw in my spoiler-free video, if you haven't watched it, please do. I was not happy about this film. And now I'm going to go into depth as to why I was not happy about this film. First off, this film is basically, as I said, Ghostbusters 2016, but for Marvel. This movie is basically a movie that is reflective of, or is a comic book parody of, the Harvey Weinstein situation. All the women who were... even the guy that is the main villain in this movie, Dreykov, he basically bears a little bit of resemblance to Harvey Weinstein, being that he's kind of a pig, he's overweight, and he mistreats women in horrible fashions. He takes away their free will. And the men in this movie, Dreykov, the guy that gets Black Widow stuff, I don't even know his name because he just seemed unimportant. David Harbour's character, the Red Guardian, and everyone, and even Ross, Thunderbolt Ross, were treated as if they were idiots and less than the women. Red Guardian seems like a person who would actually be more serious about his stuff. He wouldn't be there for comic relief. Yes, it's because of his comic relief that that made the movie watchable. But when you have a movie that you can't even tell who's fighting who and who is who in the fight, there's cutting issues with this movie. All the widows that attack Scarlet in the end, they're all wearing the same damn thing. How can you tell who the hell is who when it's also very obscured because Scarlett Johansson doesn't do her own fight choreography or doesn't do her own fight scenes? So, yeah, that's a problem. The digital effects were a problem in this movie. Clearly, seeing how Scarlett Johansson gets knocked off the bridge, it's like, oh god, that was horrible CGI. When she was fighting Taskmaster for the first time. In Taskmaster, being Dreykov's daughter, first mentioned in the first Avengers film, where she was bombed, or where she was killed by Black Widow. And they bring her back to life. And they give that whole thing a story. They retcon that. So that it can be a part of this story. So that they can take one of my top 3 favorite Marvel characters, Taskmaster, and turn him into a she, into Dreykov's daughter, who is chipped and is somehow able to go up against a super soldier. Yeah. Imagine that. How is she able... if she's alive simply because she's microchipped and whatnot, how is she able to go up against a super soldier? They don't explain that. They don't even explain how she survived. They don't even explain how Dreykov survived. They don't explain any of that. That's bad storytelling. It's bad writing. The direction of this film was horrendous. Constant cuts. Constant bitching from, I'm guessing Florence Pugh is the girl. Yeah, Florence Pugh played Yelena. And she's constantly bitching about the pose, or Black Widow's pose, and then she tries it and she's like, ugh. And it's like, oh my god. Then at the post-credit scene, they have, what's her name, from Falcon and Winter Soldier, the shady agent woman, basically saying, or giving an assignment to Yelena to kill the man responsible for Black Widow's death. And it's Clint Barton. Clint's not responsible for her death. How the hell do you draw that conclusion? I mean, seriously. How? This is probably a setup for the Kate Bishop show, where Clint is going to be in it. But it's still a shit thing. You're taking a guy that is a great character, and you're basically making him out to be the bad guy. Yeah. This movie, or Rachel Weisz, the acting was good. They had a good cast. Rachel Weisz's acting was good. David Harbour was comical. Scarlett Johansson was good, but the writing and the script and the direction was just freaking awful. You're telling me that in a free-falling sky fortress, that somehow she survives a free fall when she doesn't have a parachute? And I didn't think that, or it didn't look like Taskmaster had one either. Or the thing that, or Draco's daughter. Yeah, that's not Taskmaster. Taskmaster was a guy with photographic reflexes that if he saw something from a non-superpowered person, he could do it. At the cost of his memory. Because after he learned so much, it started to affect his memory, so he couldn't maintain some things. That's Taskmaster from the comics, the one that I grew up knowing. The only person that was skilled enough to beat him, basically, was Deadpool. He was the only one to actually beat him easily because he is so random. Because if you fight Taskmaster, he'll use your own stuff against you. Your own skills, your own skill set. Your skill set with weapons, he'll use that against you. But yeah, this was just horrifyingly bad. This movie. It was basically the 2016 Ghostbusters where they shat on all the guys to try to raise up the women. Except that when you do that, when you go that route, you are taking the women, keeping them here, you're taking the guys, and you're turning them into shit. The women are still here. That's not bumping them up. That's lowering the quality of the guys. So that they look to create the illusion that they are somehow better. This movie was political, or was identity political and political allegory. It's bullshit. This movie should have had a different plot, should have been made after Civil War and before Avengers Infinity War. This should have been the 2017 project, where 2016 was was Civil War, Infinity War was next. They should have put in the middle Black Widow in that story, and a story of whatever, and not used Taskmaster in a gender-bent way. Also, if you're going to use Taskmaster, you make him look like frickin' Taskmaster. You don't make him look like Skulljaws with frickin' with the ski goggles. To hell with what China thinks. You make the character look like his comic book self, or somehow like it. It pisses me off that Marvel truly mistreated its own franchise. I wanted to be proven wrong when I saw this film. And unfortunately, I wasn't. I will not ever support Marvel again, monetarily. They can kiss my ass. And they can also sit on a cactus, too. Anyway, yeah. Folks, that's going to be the video. You all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What did you think of Black Widow in the specific spoilery parts of the movie? Did you like it? Did you not? This movie was just boring as hell as well. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below, folks. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Stay humble.